Good morning. Good morning. Oh, look, that was so nice. So, let's see if this is ready to work. All right. Come on. Hi, Judith. There she is. Hello. All right, so my clicker just doesn't work.
Hey Judith, how are you?
All right, fine. Get up on that. This morning we're going to start with Weichert Financial Services. Some of you already introduced, but Dominic Cantelli is here. He works with Weichert Mortgage out of Wilmington. We're going to talk a little. Well, of course, we're going to go over Monday Mojo. We'll have a little transaction update, ring the bell. Karen has a few things she's going to share with us. Do a market update and a little bit tidbit from Weichert University. So first, I want to go ahead and introduce Dominic. He has, well, this is Dominic's bio. Been a mortgage originator for over 9 years. He's been with Weichert for the last 3 years.
Yep.
He has previous underwriting experience. He also has previous processing experience, so he has a good scope of the mortgage industry and the how-tos and the what-nots and all that fun stuff. So Dominic, you want to take the floor?
Sure thing. Well, I want to thank everybody for just inviting me down here to your office. So, welcome to Weichert, guys. I guess that transaction happened
June 1st.
June 1st. Oh, okay, excellent. Very good. That's actually my wedding date. So that's a great. But no, seriously, congratulations. We signed up Weichert for a lot of great things. Yeah, it's just a great company. I sit actually in the office manager's, right next to the office manager's office. Our two offices are back to back. You pretty much hear what's going on between there. And I hear a lot of the agents coming from other real estate companies. And it's interesting what you hear out there and then the feedback once they've been here at Weichert. It's just a great support that you guys have. So what I want to do is stop down here and just show you another team member that you guys have accessible to you if you guys want to utilize it. That's the great thing about Weichert. You have all these different things under one roof. However, your customers and you can utilize as much or as little of the services as you like. So as you guys can see, I've been in the industry for some time. The underwriting experience was great. I would say that was probably the best thing for a loan officer to go through. One, we understand the underwriters. We now know how to talk to the underwriters. We also understand why they're asking for the things they're asking, so we can better convey that over to you guys and over to the customers. Because a lot of times the things they're asking for just don't make sense to the average person that really hasn't gone through this that much. And again, I can kind of help you guys with that. The other positive about being an underwriter is when used to be an underwriter, when you're taking an application, I mean, you pick up on the red flags immediately. So that's always nice in the pre-approval process. Hey, maybe let's tweak a few things or let's fix a few things before we move further. So that way, again, when you're getting that pre-approval letter, it's as accurate as possible. That's one of the main things that I strive for, is to have that pre-approval letter in your hands. Has to be something unforeseen, something the customer didn't tell us, something that maybe pops up on title for the property. It's usually not going to be the buyer. Don't get it wrong, once in a while, trust me, these buyers will sneak something past you. I had somebody recently that was pretty much clear to close. The last thing you do in mortgages before the clear to close is you do a softball on their credit, make sure they did nothing new. Person had 9 new things. And I have that conversation.
One bad agent.
I have that conversation. We even have flyers that show you the road bumps ahead. Don't buy a car, don't pull credit, all that stuff. So definitely went over with him multiple times.
Didn't listen.
Didn't listen. Opened up new cards, loan, bought a new car. Not kidding. So with that being said, again, you still have your eyeball scenarios. So that's what helps out again with the underwriting aspect of things. As far as the level of service, realistically, most lenders nowadays are all within an eighth or a quarter of a point of each other. So the rate shopping really has been cut down to a minimal in the purchase field. It's really all comes down to level of service. So as you guys can see on there, I'm available 7 days a week till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I really am. Don't hesitate to contact me for any reason whatsoever. I'm always available for questions, for scheduling. Sometimes I can even drop what I'm doing, do a pre-approval for you guys. It just depends on that. I will say, if you do have someone putting an offer in, I consider that an emergency. My wife already knows, family already knows, so I can immediately try to help you guys out there. My phone, I literally have access to my entire desktop on this thing. I can do anything that I can do on my laptop on this. So If you have an emergency, please call me. If you have someone that needs to crunch scenarios so they feel more comfortable about putting an offer in, even if you already have pre-approval letter done, again, call me. Your customers throughout the process, there's going to be something that keeps them up at night. It could be the simplest thing to kind of ease their mind with. Well, that's why I want to be available till 8 or 9 o'clock at night for them. 3 to 5 minute phone conversation, they're probably sleeping a lot better at night. As far as my processor goes, I feel as though that I have one of the best processors in the business, and my motto is a loan officer is only good as his processor. So Danielle Peck, if you guys deal with me, you'll be dealing with her on a process level, so it's not like you're going to be dealing with someone different each time. So again, it's a pretty streamlined process, just big on level of service. And of course, we have a wide variety of products. Really one of the only products that I can think of that we just don't have access to is a 203Ks right now. But even with that being said, I'm actually working with another lender to do correspondently with the 203Ks through them as well. So anything that you guys need, let me know. I'm glad to help you guys out. Is there any questions that anybody has?
Go ahead, hammer on the questions.
On the credit repair side, it's great to have a lead, and if they're not good, for now. Used to be, people would kind of work on nurturing those people and show up again, but it seems like now that business is back, a lot of loan officers are saying, next, call me when you need me, when you're better, and nobody's doing the better part. I'm sure you have experience doing that.
So that's a great question. That's a great question. So real quick, just I'm gonna definitely answer that. Give you my background. I used to be a bill collector for 8 years. Did fingerhut accounts up to $1 million lawsuits between businesses. So with that being said, again, I definitely know the collection industry very well, how the credit works and everything. There are 10 nonprofit organizations in the state of Delaware. There's also one debt repair service that I actually will refer people out to. It has nothing to do with Weichert. I get these calls all the time. Only one of them have I actually allowed to step in my office. Major reason was how they're commissioned, because that's the big thing. I mean, they make money based upon these people being in debt. So what's their motive to get them out of debt quickly? This company doesn't market. They come to us, guys like you, people that have customers that have bad, deal with bad credit scores. And like you said, they just get pushed aside. And we're like, no, give them to us. We'll turn them around as quickly as possible. So that's what keeps them honest is, if I don't see that customer coming back quick enough, well, I'm not going to send you any more business. The other thing is they're only commissioned on the upfront fee, not the monthly. So I allowed them to come in and talk. It's a half an hour meeting. I let them talk for 2 hours. I was that impressed. And again, with my background, I definitely know a lot, very knowledgeable. So with that being said, I take every customer. If your customer says, I have 400 credit score, do not just throw that customer aside and say, okay, see you later. Just send them to me. Say, hey, you know what, I got a guy, give him a call, he'll point you in the right direction. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to talk to them, hear the scenario out, kind of feel it out. If it's a scenario that they can fix themselves very quickly within 30 to 60 days, but if it's anything that takes more time than that, then what I'm going to do is refer them over to the credit repair. Since I have this one credit repair company that actually costs money, it's like $89 up front and $50 or $60 a month. No one has gone with the nonprofit organizations. They've all gone with them because they'll actually explain to them, they'll give them maps, say this is what we'll do for you, the time frame, and then the customer decides if they want to go with it. So yes, a very good question. Any credit repairs, please send my way, because bottom line, it's going to build your pipeline up. When it's slow in November and December, guess what? If you get a customer now, we might have their credit repaired by then, and now they can buy. So yes, definitely. I look at every customer as a lifelong customer.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions, guys?
A lot of times, your office is in Wilmington?
Yes.
Okay, so I've worked mainly right here in Kent County. How often is it that you're going to need to actually meet with that client face to face?
No, it's, so Weichert is huge on face-to-face appointments. One thing that I deal with up in Newcastle is we get a lot of transplants. People that are coming from other states. So a lot of them like to either do stuff over the phone. We have the website that they can go to. I really don't like when they go to the website, just, it's not as personal, so I still try to reach out to that customer and have a really good conversation on the phone. It's all about the client. If they really are that hard-pressed to meet face-to-face, it is what it is. I have this one customer right now in Jersey that literally drove all the way down to see me. So if you have customers like that, you know, I will travel to them. You guys aren't that far, you know, so the only thing is I can't be here 5 days a week, but like I was telling Bobby, you know, just let me know, guys. I don't mind popping in, you know, 1 or 2 days a week if it really warrants that. That's no problem at all. But yeah, all about level of service. Another thing to throw out there for you guys as well, Wiker does have title company. I don't know who you guys use. Delaware is huge with attorneys. There are about 3 different attorneys attached to the title company. So just to throw that out there as well for you guys, because if a customer uses all the gold services, it just is what it is. It does go a lot smoother, but again, it's all what you guys are comfortable with. When I first got in the mortgage industry, it was 100% commission. So the one thing I've never forgotten is what it's like to be 100% commission, and you know that's what you guys are living in. So you know, I definitely understand that. It's all about who you trust with your paychecks.
Who are the attorneys then?
So there is, right now we have Steve Rosen. We are trying to sign up Bill Dolan. And then there is also Michael Isaacs. And then there's a Deval Patel Lennon. Michael Isaacs is with Fox Rothschild. You guys probably have obviously heard of Morgan Taylor, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is that who a lot of people use around here?
We know.
Some people do.
I'm very glad.
You said it out loud.
The only problem with, you know, look, it is what it is. You know, they all get the job done. My only issue with some of the stuff that they do is just that they have so many paralegals. So it's like a puppy. The first loan is like, you know, every loan is like the first loan, you know. So I will say, if you are dealing with like a Warden Taylor or anything like that, you guys can request for the paralegal. Do that. Find a paralegal that you like and just use that same paralegal if you're using a different attorney. So that way, when your lender is dealing with the paralegal and the attorney, you know they're dealing with the same paralegal, because that really is what causes a lot of the bumps in the road.
Yeah.
Any other questions, guys?
Do you have a backup loan officer when you really do have a life?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do take vacations, things like that. You know, honestly, yeah, I do. We always have backups. There's Alan Jacobs. My boss was actually the RVP in the area. More than likely would probably take over for any current loans in the pipeline is usually what I would do. And then anything new coming in, yes, would be you know, Alan or Greg Mason, one of those two. But yeah, we always have backup. One of the guys right now is actually just out on medical leave, so I'm actually covering his 2 offices as well. So, but you always have coverage, no question there.
How about mobile home loans?
It's funny that you asked that. We actually did not have, the problem is Fannie and Freddie don't like double wides. Mobile homes can't do. Double wides on a permanent foundation, literally I just found that last week. When a customer calls me about a product, even if I know the answer, I still will double check with underwriting. Well, that's what happened. It was a double wide, I knew the answer. Just turned one down about 3 months ago, and it was only because basically the listing agent put on there that it was a single family home, so we can find out it was a double wide to the appraisal. So we had to deny that one because of it. But I still made the phone call because we have an underwriting help desk. We have a help desk for everything at Whitewood. So I called the underwriting help desk. You can reach them on the weekends even. Bottom line is she double checked, even contacted Fannie, and yeah, we can now do double wides,
Nice.
single family, double wides on permanent foundation, Class C
Nice.
homes.
Great.
Just has to be built after 1972.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
Super.
But still not single wides.
Still not single wides, unfortunately. But if you give me a call, I will find the product for your customer. So that's one thing I want you guys to know. If there is a product for some reason we don't have, like a single mobile home, or even the 2 or 3Ks right now, I do have a trusted lender that does do those. People I used to work with, so that's why I definitely trust them.
And what you represent is that mortgage company that's self-funded with Jim Weichert? Is this what your product is?
Yep, so
For funding?
So Weichert Financial, we are a bank, just like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all that. We do correspondent lending, we do brokered loans, but we do it all. We are the lender, but we also have products. Anything we don't have, we've gone out there and tapped into a lot of different lenders for corresponding lending and brokering. So it's really all the above, but yes, the actual company name is Mortgage Access Corp. Our DBA is Weichert Financial Services. All the Weichert companies are completely separate entities. We all have to earn each other's business. It's not like a Berkshire, where they all have to use Trident, they all have to use the title company there. It's not like that here at Weichert. Again, you have as many services as you need under one roof, but again, you and your customers can use as many or as little of those services.
So you service your loans and you don't sell them, or do you sell them?
Well, every lender sells them pretty much. About 90% of our loans are sold to actually Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is a great servicer.
As long as we don't have to work with them up front.
I'm glad you said that. That's exactly right. That's why I said
They're
they're
a great servicer.
They really are a great servicer. But servicing's pretty simple. I mean, really, you know, the larger the company, honestly, the better the servicing. But the larger the company, the harder it is to get a loan done because too many people are touching the file, too many people are making decisions. I was a bank underwriter at Bank of America, so I witnessed that firsthand. I was the first underwriter at Bank of America when they took over from Countrywide back in 09.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. I knew.
Hard Knocks is the best school, isn't it?
I knew it was going out of business. If you have one buyback, one loan got bought back, it was called a court defect. No one in that department got bonus. The month I left, there was 64 buybacks. I was like, that's it. I was like, we're one. This is just never going to work out. A couple months later, they shut the whole mortgage division down at Bank of America. Took a couple years for them to revamp it. So
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's unfortunate. Just the bigger companies, the way they work, it's just not. Mortgage industry is ever changing. There's new guidelines, new rules every week. You also have to have everyone that ran the department. There's 3 of them. Not one had a day of mortgage experience. You can't have that in the mortgage industry. You just can't. So, but again, like I said, my big thing is just level of service, level of service, level of service. Anything I can do, let me know. I don't know how it works with the listing flyers with you guys. I'll have to take a look if there's any way that I can get that set up for you guys. I definitely will. All I realistically need is the MLS number, so I just have to see, because you guys are a franchise company, if you're in the systems, but if you guys are in there, all I need is the MLS numbers, and I can send you a flyer over for your listings or for an open house that you're doing. So let me double check into that for you guys, but if not, I'm sure I can figure out a workaround. I'm pretty good with the computers.
How many other affiliate stores do you work with versus corporate stores?
Honestly, this is the first affiliate store that
Oh, you're in for a treat. Welcome.
Thank you. No, this is the first one I'm working with, but I'm excited though. I like new opportunities, working with as many agents as possible. So again, I'm all about teamwork. You'll see on my email signature, teamwork makes the dream work. That's literally what I'm about. So.
When you're saying interest rates are pretty comparable these days, what's your current? Are you above or below the the norm?
Yeah, no worries. We're literally that's the best point. We're all within an eighth or quarter of a point. Whenever someone asks me about rates, I don't get into rates too in depth unless if the customer pushes.
Right.
So I'll always say, look, we're all within an eighth or quarter of a point, because when they're getting pre-approved, it's not like a refinance. When you're taking that application, you can give them a rate right then and there.
Yeah.
When you're pre-approving them, it could be a couple days, it could be a couple weeks, it could be a couple months, as you guys know. But what are the rates going to be? So the last thing I want to do is quote someone a rate and then hold on to it and say, and just be disappointed. I really try to avoid the customer being disappointed for any reason. So I usually throw that out there, that we're all within an eighth or quarter of a point, and then throw out there, about the service level. Usually that stops it. Usually they're like, all right. And then I also throw out there, we're within an eighth or quarter of a point of each other, and we're about, which means you're about $15, $20, give or take. When they're buying a home, they're not worried about $15, $20 a month. So, but if a customer does push, I do have every once in a while, well, what is the rate? Of course. Once they do that, then I'll let them know, and then I'll kind of have to explain to them, look, this is what the rates are today, it's the advertised rates, it just depends. So, but yes, our rates are no question in line. That's why we have all the correspondent lending, brokering products. So if for some reason our rates are off that day, we can go correspondent or we can go broker.
Okay.
Yep.
Origination fees?
So that's a good question as well. That's one thing I really like about Weichert, is they don't play around with, let's try to charge this customer this or that. $8.95 every single loan. I think FHA is still at $7.95, and VA, no fees whatsoever. We don't charge the borrower anything on VA loans. We waive all lenders' fees. But yeah, it's just a flat fee. It doesn't matter the program. Outside of FHA, I think that's $7.95, and then VA is free. Any other program, it's $8.95. Doesn't matter credit score, loan amount, anything of that nature.
And everything's processed at your fingertips, it sounds like.
I touch everything.
And then it's all in-house where you are, or is it at White Brick headquarters?
It's at Ocean. So there is Morris Plains, which is what they call the corporate campus.